So I went for a run this morning and quickly edited something together. Yeah. Yeah, 2 miles. 2 miles. I am sweating. I never sweat. So it's usually about this time of day where I have a bit of soup, something small to eat, and it keeps me going till dinner time, and then even then I don't really have much to eat. So, here we go. So I usually have a seed or nut bread to go with my soup. So what I've been doing is having some soup with some bread, and then later on I always have something with salad. So I've now been trying to come off meat and go with plant-based stuff, and mushroom kind of like makes up for meat. So yeah, I'll let you know how that goes. So I've cut down my intake completely. There's been no chocolate. I'm now eating fruit and vegetables where I wasn't before. I'm now exercising where I wasn't before. Basically doing a lot of things that I wasn't doing before. And I feel a hell of a lot better. So some of you might be asking, what do I do for a living? And that is, I make meditations. And I've got a website, they're on iTunes and all the streaming sites, and obviously on another YouTube channel. It does take me quite a while to make the meditations, because you've got to kind of like make every one of them completely different to the rest of them. I now have, I think, 300 plus on my other YouTube channel, and most of them are for sleep. And the reason for doing the vlogs is when I'm editing all this stuff to do with sleep, it tends to make me very, very tired. And now in week 3 of the vlogs, I actually feel a lot better from doing it. I feel like I've got more energy, I'm not so tired, and I feel more creative because I'm not stuck in that loop of just sleep. So I think it's working for me. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the vlogs. How do you feel I'm getting along? I'd love you to comment below. What would you like to see? What would you like to hear about? There will be lots of story time stuff coming, intertwined with all this kind of stuff. What would you want to keep coming back for? I think that's what I'm trying to ask. Right, I need to get some files off my iMac, which is in a studio in a plastic shed in a garage outside. And here we are in the office, or the studio. That's what it looks like. I've got the heater on in here because the studio is actually in a garage. I need to come in here to get some files off the iMac, because I sometimes work in here. I did want to talk about something, and that is getting to where you want to get to. Now, a bit like running, you need to make little steps to get to where you're going. You can't run a marathon in one stride. And it's the same if you want to build a sandcastle. All those tiny little grains make up the sandcastle. Now, there was a time where I didn't have 2 pennies to rub together. This was about six and a half years ago, and I was down to 52p, which I'll explain more in another episode. I'll literally go through all of my story. But staying on topic, I had a job at the time, which I really didn't like. I literally had enough, just enough to eat. And then some days I was only on bread and water. That's how bad it got for me. Now, obviously, if you're trying to work for 27 hours a week on a job that you really, really hate and really can't do, and you're depressed, and you're full of anxiety, and you've had no sleep, it's not going to work. You need to fix the problems that are causing that. I literally created a vision wall, if you like, and put it on the wall. And I would tick them off every time I got something that I needed. It's not stuff that I wanted, it's stuff that I needed. So bowls, plates, again, I didn't have any money. Pans, pots, obviously the food and the bills and the rent and all that kind of stuff. So that was on the list. And then we had to get to a car. Now, that took me quite a while to get to, because obviously a car costs a lot more than pots and pans and all the rest of it. So it was on the list, but obviously it doesn't have to be an expensive car. So I got a really, really cheap car that lasted me, I think it was a year and a half. But in that year and a half, I was setting myself small goals. And fortunately for me, it worked. And the last point I want to make is, don't listen to negative people. They will only bring you down. It doesn't matter what the goal is. Every goal has smaller steps. So if you haven't seen the studio before, this is what it looks like. I've got another light up there, which is also a Bluetooth speaker. And you've got the Ghostbusters license plate. You've got Thor. You've got Iron Man, which lights up. You've got Spider-Man, Back to the Future license plate. And a load of memorabilia over here. Right, so I plug the hard drive in. Yay, I found it. Where's the hard drive? It's not even picking it up. Oh, there we go. I didn't plug it in properly. Try again. Oh, no internet. Great. How basic is my setup? I've got this little step ladder and the GoPro's on a tripod. So literally went there just to record that little segment. Right, time to pack up. Now, before I forget again, I forgot to put my weight in the first vlog, so that will be coming up in a second. Second of all, I'd like to say a massive, massive thank you for all your support with these videos. Thank you. So, I've put on a lot of weight in the last year. I've put on about 1.5 stone. So now I'm... Can you see that? 11 stone 10.5 in January 2020. I forgot my phone.